Horizon Home Zodiacs, and this is Fables and Folktales, the Great Zodiac Race, by only Sarcastic Productions. Yeah, I think it's gonna be the Zodiac signs thing, right? Where did the, first of all, it's been a while since I did a OSP myth video. I'm glad I can do it right now. So, yeah, Zodiac, where did it start from? I'm guessing it's really ancient, Greeks or something, or even before that. I don't know. I guess it's based on like constellations, right? But like there's like imaginary belt in the sky, and among them like there are constellations. There's supposed to be zodiac signs, astrology basically, right? Which is based on this constellation, but apparently we realize that there's supposed to be 13, not 12. And how these zodiac signs work is like supposed to like clock, after 12 it comes back to 1 or something, as far as I remember. So they're off by 1 every single time, if you like to believe that, right? So obviously it's astrology, like no hard science to it. It's mythology obviously, so why would there be a hard science behind it? But it's supposed to be 13, not 12, so they were off by that already. I'm pretty sure this is going to be about that, right? Great Zodiac Race. I don't know what it's going to be, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Let's watch it. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, so that way I know which type of videos to react to more. I react to a lot of different type of videos. Recently I've been watching a lot of like war history and like anything like military related things, obviously, for the ongoing things around the world. I started reaction channel because there are certain videos that I watch and I realized like, why not make a reaction video? That's it, right? So I'm watching this type of video recently because geopolitics and things like that, so I've been making more videos like that. But yeah, obviously I like mythology and things, so whenever I can I try to make videos like this. So yeah, let's watch it.
Many calendars we have access to now. Like a calendar is a ridiculously useful tool for any given society to have. Lets you keep track of all sorts of important things, like birthdays and eclipses and your many long years plotting vengeance in the Chateau d'If. But now that we've had all this cross-cultural contact, everyone's been comparing notes, and we've got tons of calendars rattling around, and layers of significance stacked on every day of the year. For instance, back in the tail end of January, you might have heard we were going into the Year of the Dragon, and thought, like any sensible person, holy shit, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard. This is according to the calendar of the Chinese Zodiac, a 12-year cycle where every year is associated with an animal. Among other things, the year you're born in has a zodiac animal associated and a whole suite of extra meanings.
Oh, okay. So zodiac calendar of the I've always heard about this, like like year of the rat, year of this, year of the dragon, which is always cool, like dragon. So they are like like these signs are supposed to be like years, so it resets after every like whatever they are, like 12 or something, so it resets it after that. Is that it?
Attached. Now, as a card-carrying astrology disliker, it may come as a surprise that I'm actually very fond of the idea of assigning meaning and context to specific dates and times. Especially when I was a kid, I got a huge kick out of learning new and exciting stuff about my birthday, like what semi-precious stone it meant I was associated with, or what classical element I had an affinity to. But by far my favorite was when I first heard the story we're going to talk about.
By the way, there are like certain, like whether it's ruby or topaz, like astrology is very, I mean, in India, astrology is also like not big thing, but it's a thing. India is big, so everything's gonna be a thing here. So whether it's topaz or is it like garnet? I think it's garnet, which is supposed to be like wait a minute, is it ruby? I don't know. One of them. It's supposed to be associated with some other planet as well, right? Like Jupiter or things. I'm pretty sure one of those is considered Jupiter. Like there's detailed meaning behind that. Obviously, like every culture will have different meaning about that. That's how astrology is, I guess. It evolves wherever it goes, but yeah.
What classical element I had an affinity to. But by far my favorite was when I first heard the story we're going to talk about today. See, there's a pretty widespread folktale explaining why the animals of the Chinese zodiac are in the order that they're in, and therefore why specific years have specific animals associated with them. And that's when I learned that I'm a year of the rat kid. You try telling a kindergartner that their magical, super cool zodiac animal is a rat and see what face they make. Some people have tigers or dragons, and I got a rat!
Yeah, so apparently mine is water rooster, which means water chicken. So basically I'm a chicken. Is that what it is? I don't know. So there you go, water rooster. That's my birth year zodiac Chinese sign.
Displeased my baby sense of aesthetics. Not only was my animal the smallest of the bunch, it was categorically the lamest. Didn't even have good heel qualities like the snake. But my ears were perked when I was informed that actually the rat is the very first animal in the zodiac cycle, because the animals all had a great race and the rat 1. That brightened me up very quickly. Maybe it was okay being a year of the rat kid, if it meant being a born winner. This is around the time I realized that because of the way school works, almost everyone else in my kindergarten classroom was also a year of the rat kid, so my bragging rights for that dried up pretty quickly. But anyway, let's talk about the great
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Everybody's like essentially same year as you, obviously.
race. Now, as an incredibly widespread folktale, the Great Race does not have a singular source that I can just pull off the shelf and summarize as a definitive version. The ordering of the animals is always the same, obviously, but there are a lot of different variations on the exact details of the story, so today we're going to talk about one of them with the understanding that there are a ton of them and we're all going to be cool about it. Okay? Alright, now our story begins, as so many do, with a decree from the Jade Emperor. See, he's decided he wants some new heavenly spirits around to guard the years of the calendar, and the earlier the prospective hires show up, the better their...
Yeah, I'm just imagining like Monkey King just coming there and like annoy him to the death, right? Journey to the West is so fucking awesome. I don't know which part am I don't know, like I don't know which part I stopped at, but apparently like she makes a part every few years, so I guess it makes sense. Why not? There's also a game, Wukong, certain like based on that, which is like, of course I'm gonna play that one.
rank will be. News of this impromptu race spreads, and a multitude of animals start making their way to the Jade Emperor's heavenly palace. But this isn't just a simple overland sprint. The way is barred by a swift river, probably because all the mountains were busy making Journey to the West more complicated, so the animals need to find a way to ford the rushing waters. The rat and the cat are by far the worst swimmers of the bunch, and they know it, so the night before the race they put their heads together and come up with a scheme to hitch a ride with one of the other animals. The rat promises to wake the cat first thing in the morning, and they bunker down for a good night's sleep. But either because it slipped the rat's mind, or because the rat didn't want to deal with the competition, the rat slips away in the morning with the cat napping peacefully and none the wiser. Personally, I feel like the rat is entirely blameless in this situation. Cat should have set an alarm. The race begins and the animals plunge into the water. First on the ticket is the ox, who's...
Hold up there, is she biased?
sturdy enough to just kind of brute force it. He pushes his way through and makes his way to the other side. But it turns out the ox had a hitchhiker. The noble and extremely charismatic rat was hanging out just behind his ear, and when the ox makes landfall on the other side of the river, the rat leaps off and sprints to the finish line, taking home the gold with the ox in a comfortable second place. Bringing up third is the tiger, who had a very unpleasant time fighting the current, but was just badass enough to make it to the other side through sheer strength alone. And hot on the tiger's heels is the rabbit,
I mean, yeah, tiger is athletic, so why not?
who was making good time hopping from rock to rock, but had a bit of a spill and barely survived by clinging to a log until it reached the other shore. In inexplicable fifth place is the divine dragon, who can fly, so what's his excuse? It's actually pretty good. He got delayed because he was granting life-giving rain to the people of Earth who needed it, and then at the last minute he got held up again because he happened to see this rabbit drowning and gave it a little bit of a rescue. Acts of do-gooding are as good a reason as any to turn up late, and the dragon...
I mean, yeah, oh, by the way, here like ox, here's a rat, here's a tiger, here's a fucking dragon. So like, how do we balance? This is a game. Let's say this is a video game. How do we balance things out? Oh, by the way, like I was giving rain to the people. I was helping the rabbit because that is the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, it's a dragon, right? There is no competition when it comes to dragon.
Dragon gets fifth place. This is around the time the horse makes it through the water, but just before he can reach the shore, he has a moment of clarity and realizes he didn't somehow acquire a fashionable new ankle bracelet and instead has a snake on his leg. And this freaks him out so much that the snake flies merrily into sixth place and the horse has to be happy with seventh. Things get a smidge complicated with the next few runners. Apparently, the goat, the monkey, and the rooster had some sort of power of friendship moment and decided to work together, finding and steering a raft across the river and not betraying each other even a little bit. The Jade Emperor is pleasantly surprised and gives the goat 8th place, the monkey 9th, and the rooster 10th. Yeah, that's right, rooster. That's what teamwork gets you. 11th place is taken by the dog, who, despite being a dang good swimmer, is also a dog who got turned loose in a water park, so he ran a little late. And finally, bringing up the rear is the boar, who made it a self-care day, eating a big breakfast, having a nice nap, and really just taking the day at his own pace. And you know what? It worked! Take that, grind set. With the menagerie assembled and the ordering solidly established, the 12 Zodiac animals are placed in their permanent position, and the rat gets to enjoy that sweet gold place victory forever. Which I'm sure was tempered only slightly by the cat's vow of eternal blood feud vengeance for being sabotaged into sleeping through the whole race, incidentally providing a handy explanation for why there is no cat in the Chinese Zodiac, and further why cats of all stripes have such a fondness for disemboweling their little...
Oh my god, so cat didn't even get a place in the calendar? Cat is last one. Where the hell you been, Jade Emperor? What were you doing? Like, I was supposed to be like, where the rat, rat was the first. Where the hell you were sleeping? You slacking off. You always lazy. It's like, no, get out, get out. You don't get to part B in calendar.
Furry form of friends, which sounds like sore loser behavior to me. Or maybe the cat chases the rat because they're just so used to the view from last place. Oh, I don't know. Who said that? Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Coming and they don't stop.
Rat gang. Okay. I like how she just made the story out of her being a rat, so just like defending rat left and right. Yeah, there was a rooster thing as well. Okay, whatever. If you think my astrology opinions are contradicted and hypocritical, just remember I'm Gemini. Okay.
Coming, bed to the rules and
Oh, that's it. Okay, I don't like astrology, obviously, for obvious reason. I'm a scientific guy, so whenever I hear astrology, it's like, what the hell, right? Sometimes people call astronomers astrologists. I'm like, what the fuck? But okay, let it go about that. Yeah, this was really interesting. I mean, how many Chinese mythology has she covered? I can't remember actually, but pretty sure one or two, right? But it's mostly Japanese, Italian, obviously Nordic, Greek, obviously there's Greek. There's few of Greek, a lot of Greek. I like Greek. I like Zeus' involvement. I think Zeus should pop up in every mythology, like Chinese or whatever, just to like, hey, how you doing? So yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know what? No, I take that back because that would suddenly become rated R. It wouldn't be PG anymore. But yeah. Alright, well, that was Fables and Folktales, The Great Zodiac Race by Channel Overly Sarcastic Productions. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time.